I kicked out a family that gate-crashed a private party. I booked this whole soft play place for my son's 6th birthday. Like the entire thing. It wasn't cheap either, but I wanted him to actually enjoy his party without random kids climbing all over everything. The place does public sessions most of the time, but I specifically paid extra to have it private for 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon. Everything was going fine. Kids were running around, parents were chatting, and I had just set out the buffet table. Sandwiches, pizza slices, fruit, those little bags of chips, cake, the usual stuff. I'm standing there making sure everything looks good when this woman I've never seen before walks right up to me. She doesn't say hi or introduce herself, just goes, "Can my kids have some food?" I thought maybe she was confused, so I said sorry, but this is a private party. I booked the whole venue. She looked at me like I'd just spoken another language and said, "That doesn't matter. My children want some food." I actually laughed because I thought she was joking, but she just stood there staring at me, waiting. So I said no again. "The food is for the party guests." She rolled her eyes, said fine, and walked back to her 2 kids who were playing in the ball pit. I figured that was the end of it and went back to cutting the cake. Then I noticed her standing near the buffet table again, but off to the side. She was watching me, not even pretending to do anything else, just full-on staring, waiting for me to leave. Her kids were next to her now, and she was pointing at the food, telling them something. I walked over to one of the staff members, this younger guy who was cleaning tables, and told him what happened. He looked annoyed immediately and said he'd handle it. He went over and talked to her. I couldn't hear everything, but I saw him gesturing to the door and shaking his head. Then she started getting loud, like really loud. Her voice carried across the whole place. She was yelling that she and her children were not leaving, that this was ridiculous, and that someone needed to tell me to share the food with her kids. At this point, other parents at the party were staring. My son was looking over, confused about why some lady was shouting, so I walked back over. I said as calmly as I could, "This is a private event. You need to leave." And this woman just started screaming at me, like fully screaming. "What is a sandwich? What is a sandwich?" Over and over. Her face was red, spit was flying, and she kept pointing at the food table. I completely lost it and shouted back that she needed to get out. The staff guy stepped in and told her if she didn't leave right now, he was calling security. She grabbed her kids by their arms, yanked them toward the door, and as she walked out, she turned around and flipped me off with both hands. Her kids looked embarrassed. The whole room went silent for like 10 seconds. Then one of the dads at the party just started clapping, and everyone else joined in. My son asked if the mean lady was gone, and I told him yes, and we went back to eating cake. The rest of the party was fine, but I kept checking the door to make sure she didn't come back.